Hello there, I'm going to show you how to use Paint to create an image, something like this for your card game, so that we can later cut them out and use them in Unity. We're going to go ahead and choose File, Start, or New, because we want to have a blank canvas to work with. And the first thing you should do, I would recommend this, is just zoom out by holding Control and using the mouse wheel down. What you want to do is take this bar over here and then make it nice and large so that you have many pixels to work with. I'd recommend somewhere around 4,000. Should be enough to create 52 cards. The next thing you want to do is choose your appropriate card shape. So for me, I want my card shape to be this kind of like a rounded rectangle here. So go ahead and make your card whatever size you want. If you want, you can even adjust the shape by using another, geometric shape. Make sure you center it and then kind of just drag it over here. Notice how it doesn't fit, right? There's a trick to that. So I'm going to take my circle, and then what I want to do is count how many pixels there are in the rounded rectangle. So if I just select the rounded rectangle from left to right, it'll tell me, okay, my selection is 166 wide. So I can then take my circle and then make it about 166 wide. And then if I do that, things should fit now. So I'll go ahead and select this, and I'll get something like that. So you can have different card shapes. This is just one trick you can use. But once you're happy with your card shape, the next thing we want to do is we want to start throwing things on there. So we're going to have a text. You want to put a text in one of the corners, top right or top left. You want to choose an appropriate size and whatever font you prefer. So you could use, any font. I can make this an A. Make sure your size matches what you want it to look like. Notice how I kind of just cut everything away there. There's a trick you can use for that as well. Just type outside. I can put my A for ace, select it, and then drag it in. Now it may help if you choose the transparent selection so that when you drag it in, you'll notice you can get it nice and close to the edges if you'd like. Alright, next thing to keep in mind, when you copy this and paste it to put it at the bottom, you don't want it to necessarily be in the same orientation. It's better to rotate it 180 degrees so it looks like a standard card. Try not to flip it vertically because then things will look a little bit weird. You have to use the 180 tool. Alright, great. Now we're on to the middle of the card. So if I wanted to make a heart, for example, I'd make a heart, and you can design your art however you want. You don't have to use their standard shapes. Go ahead and fill in the color however you want it to look, and then just keep in mind for red cards in a card game, the font will also be red, so you may want to redo that font whenever I create it. I might want to make it red and then put that A there instead. So again, it's kind of up to you how you want to run this, but when you're doing your art, there are a couple of tools I will show you how to do to increase your workflow. Oops, I did not mean to flip it like that. Alright, anyway. Let's get that in place. So one thing you can do is choose your card that you're starting with as your first card, copy it and paste it. And this will now be our second card. Make sure selection is not on transparent select, and so when I make my next shape, I can just, make my next shape and then drag it over, and it's going to overwrite that heart. If I want to make it bigger, I can make it bigger. Notice how the heart disappears. So that's one trick you can use, just copy it, paste it. Once you've made all 4 cards, so I'm just going to choose the selection tool again, copy these two, pretend they're like spade and club. So once you've made all 4 cards, the next thing you can do is you can just take this whole row and start copying and pasting, place it in different places. And now you have multiple rows. You can then take multiple rows. I'm going to zoom out a little bit actually. I'm going to take all 3 rows, copy that and paste that. And so now I have 6 rows, etc. And 9 rows. And so you can get all your cards relatively fast. What will need to be replaced is, of course, the text here and there, as well as the image in the middle. Once you've created your generic shape, I do recommend this. Go ahead and take your shape and then use the resize tool to make it much smaller. For example, 25%. Once it's 25%, now I can take that, copy it, and paste it. I can rotate it 180 degrees, and now I've got my 2 of hearts. And I can do the same thing with diamonds and clubs and spades, etc. So that's the general idea, and your goal should be to create something that looks like this. And once you've created this full set of card images, we're going to move on to the next video. So hope that helped, and see you guys in the next video. Remember, like and subscribe. I need 100 subscriptions. I'm trying to build up subscriptions. Once I get 100, we can have a custom channel name. So I'm really going for that. Help me out, and see you guys next time.